And now, here he is. He stopped your leaks, prevented your plugs, fixed your pipes. The 21st century's greatest plumber, Les the Plumber.
Good evening, everybody. It's great to be here at the New York Comedy Club. Did you hear about all the toilet seats were stolen in police headquarters, and now the police have nothing to go on? And then, of course, they're giving all the old men in the nursing homes Viagra. You know why? Because stops them from falling out of the bed. All right, you hear about the honeymoon couple that was on the way to the Fontainebleau Hotel? And as they're driving, he puts his hand on her knee, and she says, you know, honey, we're married, you can go further. So he drove to Key West. All right, and of course there was Abraham Lincoln. Did you know he was Jewish? He was shot in the temple. And then all the Jewish married men died first because they want to. And all the Jewish divorces cost so much because they're worth it. And did you hear about the story about Lorena Bobbitt? You know, she cut off her husband's ding-dong, you know, they're out in a hunting lodge, and so after that she threw it out, and it hit this forest ranger right in between his eyes, and now he's suing her because he's cockeyed. So they went to court, and the judge says, I'm sorry, we can't prosecute because we have no hard evidence. So that's the problem with Lorena Bobbitt. But anyway, this couple, they had two daughters, gorgeous looking children, and finally he says, honey, I'd like to have a son. So she became pregnant, and they had a son, and the guy came, and the son comes out, the child comes out, ugly as sin, ugly. So he turns around to his wife and he says, tell me, how come this kid is so ugly and the two daughters we have are so beautiful? He says, are you cheating on me? She says, no, not this time, the first time. And then, of course, you heard about the Eskimos, what they get when they sit on the ice too long? They get Polaroids. And then, you know what you get when an Indian drinks tea? You get TP. And did you hear about the man that walked all wrapped up in saran wrap, and he walks into the psychiatrist's office, and the psychiatrist says, please don't say anything, I see you nuts. And then, of course, there's this great joke that I have about the guy who's driving the penguins around in the street. And the cop comes by and he says, get these penguins off the street and take them to the zoo. So the next day, the cop sees the guy driving again with the penguins. And he says, hey, I told you to take them to the zoo yesterday. He says, now I did that. He says, but now I'm taking them to the beach. All right, you don't like that? We'll have to go and find something else. Did you hear about the cop that pulled a guy over for indecent exposure? The guy says, what are you talking about? He says, well, you have no hubcaps. Your nuts are showing out. All right. Let's see what else I can hit you with. Oh, did you hear about the guy? He goes down, Social Security, to the Social Security office, and he says to the woman, he says, I'd like to get my Social Security. So she said, you need some identification. He said, geez, I forgot to take it. I'll go home and get it. So with that, she says, no, come over here, open up your shirt, let me see your gray hairs. So he walks over and he opens up. He says, well, she says, you look like you're old enough for Social Security, and she gave it to him. And he goes home, he tells his wife all about this, what happened, the gray hairs and everything, and she says, you should have dropped your pants, you might have got disability. All right, thank you. Pleasure.
Check your local schedule for the next appearance of Les the Plumber here at the New York Comedy Club, BOCA RATON.